Somewhere along the line, total commitment is important. Whether it's to your church, or it's to your family, or it's to your spouses, or it's to... I'm coaching at Texas A&M. I had a player come in my office one time. He just got through eating, and he said, "Coach, it's easy to say what you're going to do on a full belly." He said, "But I'm telling you now, not only I'm going to make your football team, but I'm going to be a starter." Quit that afternoon. Didn't even finish the day. I'm coaching the Dallas Cowboys. It's one of those games where we're playing the Redskins, and we go ahead, and they go ahead, and we go ahead. And I mean, one of those great games. And we won the game right at the last. I'm coaching the secondary at the time. And I go back in the players' dressing room, and there's Cliff Harris and Charlie Waters, two old pros, and they were taking off their gear, and they were friends, and they sat beside each other, and they were trying to take the shoulder pads off, and I saw Cliff look over at Charlie, and he said, "Charlie, what scored that game?" Didn't even know the score of the game. Knew that we had won. You know the reason they didn't know the score of the game? Because they had made a commitment that they were going to play as well as they were capable of playing. Just do the best you can. Then everything else sort of takes care of itself. How many times do we hear, "Well, that just wasn't fair"? You know, that's just not fair. Look over. You know, his daddy has got all kinds of money. Well, he thought he hit a triple, but he's born on third base. Would you look over here? I mean, is she not absolutely gorgeous? Look at that figure. She is gorgeous, and I'm a little overweight, and it's just not fair. Well, he's got that kind of job. You know, have we heard that? We said it for a time. You know, it's just not fair. Well, let me tell you what's fair. When I'm talking to my players, I say, run your antennas up on this. When I really want them to pay attention. You know what's fair? Everybody can go to heaven. If you don't go to heaven, it ain't nobody's fault but yours. Just simple as that. You can be short and fat and have big feet, or little feet, a tall, or skinny, or whatever it is. But if you want to go to heaven, you can go to heaven. Because, see, that's fair. And we're just here for, say, a short period of time anyway. You know what I tell a mother every once in a while? That she's just devastated. Just literally devastated. She's just delivered a child that has Down syndrome. You know what I tell her? I said, "Lady, you know what you're doing? You know what you're fixing to do? You're fixing to raise a child that'll be in the presence of God forever." Can it get any better than that? You've got some, quote, normal children. You're going to worry about those normal children. But that child that has Down syndrome or whatever he has, he's going to spend eternity in heaven. You are the mother of a child that's going to be in the presence of God forever. Now, all of a sudden, maybe it's not quite as bad as we thought that it was. See, we do the best we can with what we've got. We surround ourselves with good people. You know the reason we do the right thing every once in a while? Because it's the right thing to do. As simple as that. Well, why'd you do that? Because it was the right thing to do. You ever have to make an excuse for that? A lot of times we know the right thing to do, we just don't have the courage enough to do it. You know what I don't want to happen to me? I don't want to reach the age of 90 and 95 and be a sour old man. You ever see a sour old man? No lips now, he rocking, he don't say nothing to nobody. He's just a sour old man. You know why? He's never done anything for anybody. He's just never done anything for anybody. It's always somebody doing something for me. See, just every once in a while, we need to try to make the quality of life for somebody else just a little bit better. It's a kind word every once in a while. It's just showing a little bit of kindness. You know, every Sunday at church, I bet you it would be 25 of those old women lined up there to hug Johnny. You know, he knew the names of every one of them, knew the names of their children, their grandchildren. I used to say his old daddy needs a hugging. They said, you don't know nobody. You know what? Johnny was interested in other people. I was telling somebody just the other day, here's a kid 46 years old when he passed away. You know he didn't even know a bad word? Didn't even know one. You people should be so lucky. You're not. You know what Johnny would tell me every night when I would put him to bed? Here I'm putting Johnny to bed and I'm giving him his pills and I'm saying his prayers, and you know what he said? Pop, what me and you gonna do tomorrow? Didn't make any difference what. You say we're gonna go see Charlie. We're gonna have lunch with Charlie. We're gonna get a haircut. Or we're gonna work cattle. It didn't make any difference. It didn't make any difference what it was. He said, Pop, what me and you gonna do tomorrow? Don't you wish your children would ask you that, regardless of the age of whatever? He just wanted to know that he was sort of going to do something with Pop. Then he could sort of go to sleep. It's doing the best you can with what you got. There's not a thing in the world wrong with being a fourth team player. If that's as good as you can be. But we have to have a genuine appreciation. You know how much time it takes to be a Bible school teacher? And I would say the great majority of us are looking at a watch and we want that Bible school teacher to hurry up and get over. Are we not really sure we agree with what they say? Or something was said and I'm in a little bit of a huff. What's wrong with having some appreciation for our ministers and the people that run your district and the people that teach the classes and what's wrong with supporting good causes? And what's wrong with trying to teach our children to do right? And teaching them a work ethic and teaching them. We all need each other. Just simple as that. The old Fellowship of Christian Athletes, several years ago, their slogan, we really need each other. See, we really need each other. Somebody gets in a bind. They need some help. You know who comes to the rescue? It's your church friends. It's just simple as that. It's your church friends. And in closing, I love the poem, The Dash. I said it at Charlie's funeral. I love this poem. I read where a man stood to speak at a funeral of a friend, made mention of the tombstone, the dates from the beginning to the end. At first, he mentioned the date of the birth, and the latter he mentioned with tears, because he said what matters most of all is that dash between the years, because it represents all the time that he was alive upon this earth, and only those who knew him best knew what that dash was worth. Matters not how much you own, your house, your cars, your cash. What matters most of all is the way you live that dash. And if you could just slow down a bit and see what's true and real, try to understand how the other fellow feels. And more often, wear a smile. Because a little dash may only last a while. And as your eulogy is being read and your life is being rehashed, are you going to be proud to hear the people say, the way you lived your days? See, it's just something about doing the best you can with what you've got. It's something about associating with good people. It's something about teaching our children the difference in right and wrong. And it's just a little silly thing like you take your hat off when you come in the house. You know, there at Paris High School, we got a policeman in the hall. A policeman in the hall? What's wrong with us? We're going to high school and we got a policeman in the hall? You know why? Because we're losing respect. Just losing pure D.O. respect. And somewhere along the line, it's our responsibility as church people and parents and grandparents to make a difference in our children's lives. Hey, thank you all for letting me be a little part of your program.